Hi guys, and welcome back to Coding AFG. This is our second lecture of HTML, and in this lecture we are going to create a simple HTML page. So first I'll just make a folder right over here, and you also have to do the same. You have to make a folder and name it anything you want. I'll name it first my first HTML file like this, and I'll just right click over here and open it with code. Open with code. If you guys haven't installed the Visual Studio Code, so please do it. It's very easy. You just have to search it in any web browser that you have, and you can install it very easily. So when you have opened your folder with VS Code, so you have to just click on this new file icon, and you have to make a new file. I'll make a file called first.html. So here you can name your file anything, but you can't change this .html. You have to write .html with it. Like if you're making a file by the name of my.html, so you just have to write this .html, my.html. It's very important. Like it is an extension for HTML files. Like for videos, we have extensions like MP4, MKV, MOV. So for HTML, we also have an extension like this, HTML. And as we have for CSS, .css, and for JavaScript, we have .js. So I'm just gonna click in this icon back, and we will have this file. You can zoom in it or zoom out it by using Control plus and Control minus. Now let's talk about this. How can we create a simple page? First, we have to write this doc type HTML, then HTML lang is equal to en, then head, meta, title, head, closing tag, body starting tag, h1, p, body closing tag, HTML closing tag. Now, what are these all? Why do you have to write them? So now you guys can understand it very easily. But first, I'm just gonna quit this, and then you can see guys here in that folder that we created, we have a file called first.html. So I'll open this with my web browser. And now we will talk about the doc type. What is doc type and why do we have to write it? So doc type defines the HTML version used in the document. In this case, it is HTML5. It means that whenever we are writing a doc type here, so doc type HTML, so it means that we are defining the fifth version of HTML. We want to use the fifth version of what? HTML. For old HTML, we were using another tags, but for HTML5, we have to use doc type. Now, then we have HTML tag, opens the page. HTML tag opens the page. No markup should come after the closing tag HTML. Yeah, so I'll just write here HTML and I'll close it like this. So anything we are writing, we have to write it in here, and the center, not after the closing tag or not before the closing tag, not after the starting tag. Now we have what? And the HTML tag, the lang attribute declares the primary language of the page. So we have a lang attribute here, right over in here in HTML. When we are writing lang, it means the language of our page. Which language? English. We are using English language. If you are making a website with another language, so you have to write here another language name. And then after HTML tag, we have head. Head opens the head section. Head tag opens the head section, which does not appear in the main browser window, but mainly contains information about the HTML document. It means that anything that we are writing in head tag is not shown in our website. It is just kind of the data that is in the back, which does not appear in our browser window. And it's called metadata. And it can also contain imports from external sheets and scripts. Yeah, we can also import some of our CSS files in here in head section. Then we have the meta tags. The meta tag gives the browser some metadata about the document. The charset attribute declares that character encoding. Modern HTML documents should always use UTF-8, even though it is not a requirement in HTML. The meta tag does not require a closing tag. So it means that metadata doesn't have a closing tag. And what is the main reason we use meta tag? So we use it because it gives the browser some information about the document. And it's not important to write it actually. We have some of the meta tags that are important. When we will go there, we will learn these things as well. So the meta casts it like this. But it's not important, as I told you guys before. Now let's talk about the title tag. The title of the page. Title means the title of our page. Text written between this opening and the closing tag, title, will be displayed on the tab of the page or in the title bar of the browser. Here, you see here what is written here, first.html. This is our file name, but if we want to write something else here, so we have to use what? Title tag. So, what do you want to write in the title? I just want to write Coding AFG, just like this. And let's see. Let's refresh it by clicking on this icon. And let's see Coding AFG. You have it here. And if you want to write something else, you can write it. I'll write my name, Fida Muhammad Khaksar. So whenever I'll refresh it, and we can also refresh our page by using this F5 button. Yeah, F5, just like this. And we have here this Fida Muhammad Khaksar. Then we have our body tag. Body tag opens the part of document displayed to users. What? Displayed to users. This part. This is all the body of our web page. What? The body of our web page. So if we want to write something in the body, so we have to use our body tag. We have to write the body tag. And all the visible or audible content of a page. No content should be added after the closing tag. As I told you guys before that, like, first I'll just write here body tag. and we have it here. We can't write anything after the closing tag as it's written here. So now what do you want to write here in our body section? So I'll write H1. What is H1? It's a level 1 heading for the page. We will talk about these headings in our next lecture. And now you just have to see it. You don't have to just think about it. H1. In this H1, I'll write hello world. And let's see what do you have in our web browser page. So I'll refresh it with F5. You guys can see I've written hello world here. Yeah. And then we have P. P represents a common paragraph of text. By using P, we can just represent a paragraph. Like I'm just writing P, and I'll just write here my name is Fida Muhammad Khaksar, and I am the co-founder of Coding AFG. Just like this. I'll just zoom it a bit so you can understand it easily. Now you guys can see when I will refresh my page, I'll have this as well here. My name is Fida Muhammad Khaksar, and I'm the co-founder of Coding AFG. So this is how it works. How can we create a simple HTML page? So this was our first HTML file that we created together. And at the end, I want to tell you guys something else that is very beneficial. I'll just delete this from here. And if you don't want to write this all the time, like coming here, writing doc type like this, if you don't want to do it all the time, like writing HTML, then again these things. So there's a simple way that you can have all of these things at once by just writing this boilerplate here and just pressing the enter. And now you guys can see we have all of these things. And don't think about these metadata. Just delete them. And anything you want to write in the title, you can write it here. Like I'll write my name like this. Now you guys can see I'll have it here. So this was for today. And remember one thing, that HTML is very easy. At the first, it will look a bit harder to you guys, but it's very easy when you will understand the basics very easily, so you can go further as well. So see you